Hello and welcome, everybody. So excited to be here with you today. My name is Brad Stevens, and my goal is for this to be one of the most valuable one-hour webinars that you've ever taken. We're going to be covering mastering outsourcing, how to automate, delegate, and grow your business on a shoestring budget. I've got a lot of experience in this area, launching multiple companies, and excited to give you some really actionable information you're going to walk away with at the end of this webinar. So I'll share a little bit more on it, but my company is called Entreholic, and as the name implies, it's an addiction to entrepreneurship and fueling your passion. Um, our whole goal is helping entrepreneurs to be successful. So I am extremely excited to share this content with you and some things I've uncovered and learned how to build and grow my businesses over the last 15 years, and some really creative things that you maybe never even heard of that are going to be really impactful for your company. And I have to ask, you see two pictures up on the screen here. So I want to see if I could take a vote from everyone on this live webinar. We've been kind of debating internally with my team of whether or not to use the one on the left, which is kind of more of a action shot in the trenches and a t-shirt, just finishing up a workshop with a full whiteboard, or the more polished look in a sport jacket on the right. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to get a little input from everybody on here today, help us make a decision. You can just type in L for left if you think the t-shirt one is the best look, or R for right if you think the more polished look is the better one. We'd love to know, and we'll kind of give us some guidance on which ones to use forward. So, well, it looks like getting lots of L's. So I guess guess folks like the more the action look and maybe the t-shirt there. So thanks for the feedback. I appreciate it. It'll help us determine what we're going to be using here moving forward. So let's dive right into it here. So first of all, I just want to talk about the concept of time before we dive into it. So time is one thing that we can't get back, right? It's the thing we all want more of, but when it's gone, it's gone. And we all have only so much energy and time that we can put into things. And time means something different for all of us. Where we like to spend it, with our family, with our friends, with our passions, and obviously with our jobs and our careers and our businesses. But all of us would love to have extra time that we can really spend on those areas that are most important to us. I know for my wife and I, it's our new 8-month-old that we have. Every little bit of extra time that we have, that's where we like to spend it. So actually, on that topic, I have to admit I had a little help putting together this this webinar. She actually found the microphone to be pretty tasty in the process, but that's our little 8-month-old, and as you can see, she was instrumental in helping shape this thing up. So you're gonna get some great value from an infant experience on this one. So the second topic really is money, right? So money is the other big thing that we're all wanting more of as well. It's that scarce resource, both in our personal lives and with our businesses, that we're always trying to make stretch far as we possibly can. And what I found is that the most successful individuals, and I laid this out to kind of just give us the right mindset and index our thinking going into it, learned how to leverage time and money, and really to think about everything in terms of opportunity cost. Because what you're spending your time and money on doing one thing, you're giving up what you can be doing on something else. And the most successful entrepreneurs and individuals I've seen really get the concept of how to leverage their time and money and how to spend it in the most high impact areas, because ultimately when you leverage time and money, that's what translates into growth and ultimately freedom to do what we want with our time and our money and where we want to invest it. So just a core concept to kind of lay a foundation as we go into the content here. So I want to just share the promise that you're going to walk away with from this webinar. So first of all, you're going to learn how to be able to generate 1,000 highly targeted leads with full contact information in 4 to 5 days for under $150. This is really one of the most impactful things that I've been able to share with tons of entrepreneurs and business owners to cost effectively get prospects, because we all need more leads and prospects to drive sales. Secondly, I'm going to show you how to get immediate market intelligence, how to get a list of all your competitors, how to get their pricing, how to get their digital marketing plan, know exactly what their entire online marketing strategy is. Everything from their top keywords to their entire Google AdWords strategy, but also show you some creative things about how to test the market when you're looking to introduce a new product, to save you a bunch of time and money, to kind of know what products are out there that may be competing with what you're wanting to launch, or a new market that you're wanting to introduce. I'm going to show you a bunch of really great examples on that will save you a ton of time and money. Thirdly, I'm going to show you a top-rated email list building strategy. As you may have learned, email list building is one of the most important, valuable things that you can be doing. It's one of the most valuable assets that you'll have in your company is your email list and the relationship that you build. And we're going to go through a technique and how you use the strategies to build your email list rapidly. And lastly, I'm going to show you a bunch of other crafty growth hacking strategies you likely never knew existed. I've presented in front of tons of people, and every time when I show a lot of these strategies, it just opens eyes wide open, in addition to the ones that we're going to talk about above. So I'd like to share this quote just to kind of give you, a reason to kind of engage this content. I did a session with a group one time, and the guy came up to me afterwards and he said, "Brad, you know how sometimes you learn things in life that change the game? Well, this is one of those days for me. Thank you." And so this was a guy named Russell, who's an entrepreneur, very successful, multi-million-dollar IT sales business. And that's the impact I want to have for you today. To this be a game-changing type of information that will make a major impact in your personal life and in your business. Because as I allude to here, I want to redefine how you get things done. That's what a lot of the premise is for this webinar. There's a certain way you go about things in terms of the time and resources and where you spend your time and how you execute certain things. We're going to redefine how you get things done. Because what you're going to learn here is not just, it's going to be way of life skills. This is going to be impactful for your business, but also I'll show you how this is really the change in how things are going to be done going forward. It's not just business skills, but overall way of life and how you're going to get things done. Because the world is changing at a very rapid pace. And the way that things are getting done in this world are changing dramatically. So no matter where you are in life, if you're just starting a business or already are in a next stage in your business or just in your career, these are all going to be very impactful things that you're going to be blown away how much time and money they can save you on getting things done. And really the content I'm going to share with you today, and you may have taken different courses or learned different things that touch on one of these areas, but the benefit of this content is it's going to really touch on all three of them. And that is, we're going to show you how you drive revenue, sales, and leads, okay, how you increase that. We're going to show you how you reduce costs in executing that function, as well as other parts of your business. And then we're also going to show you how you reduce time. So you're going to get a 3-for-1 with this content. We're not only going to drive sales and revenue, but we're going to show you how you reduce costs and reduce time in the process. So I want to encourage you as well to stay tuned through the webinar. You're going to get a lot of tremendous value, which you're going to see here, but specifically going to provide you some things after we close this thing out. One is you're going to get an outsourcing blueprint guide and a video walkthrough. We're going to give you a very specific set of instructions and a walkthrough on how you're going to be able to immediately implement some of the things that we're going to be covering in a video walkthrough from me personally, showing you how to complete the process. You're going to get 7 steps to getting your digital house in order. So this is a very clear step-by-step guide we've used tons of times that's going to let you kind of methodically walk through where you are in your business on the digital marketing side, and make sure that you've got everything dialed in. And we're also going to share with you a really crafty free tool to see your competitors' entire online marketing strategy that I showed before. This is going to show you their Google AdWords. It's going to show you their keywords. It's going to show you their entire online marketing performance and what they're doing. Really crafty tool that I'm going to share with you as well as part of it. So definitely want to stick around and be providing those to you. So let's make the most of your experience here. So let's just turn off everything that's operating in the background, including any email, Skype, iTunes. Let's just really put blinders on, because I 100% assure you that this is going to be information that is going to make a big impact that you're going to want to take good notes and implement. Silence your phone, close your door, give yourself the time to really discover these new strategies. So Really important. Really got to embrace it. If you got multiple things going on, you're going to miss some things, and this is stuff that you're going to want to make sure you incorporate. And you can use the chat box for any questions that you may have as we go through this. So just to kind of orient and make sure you know that you're in the right place. So you're in the right place for this webinar if you're trying to start a business from scratch, okay, online or offline. You already have a business but need more affordable ways to grow. You're working hard on your business but feel as if there aren't enough hours in the day to get it all done. I know we can all all relate to that. You sell by phone or face-to-face and need an automated way to generate qualified leads. That also includes selling online. And you have a product or service business and want to use the internet to generate more customers. So that's some broad strokes, but I can imagine that probably applies, one or more of those items apply to you. So before we get too deep, I'm just going to give you a little context on myself, and this isn't to bore you with details about me, but if you're going to spend an hour online with someone, you want to know what's the credibility there, and why should I be listening to what you have to say. So hopefully going to give you a reason for that. So briefly, my story, I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up in a 3 generation of entrepreneurs. I was around it my entire life. And actually started my first business in 3rd grade. I had a toy rental business, and then I started a tutoring company in high school. And then went off to college, and I originally attended Harvard University. I went there and was going to do economics for my undergrad degree. And just frankly, economics I enjoyed university and learned a lot, and it was an amazing experience. But economics, they don't have any undergrad business at Harvard, which a lot of people don't realize. They only have their MBA program when it comes to business. Their undergrad economics is the closest that you could get. So I actually ended up transferring after my freshman year and went to Wharton. And the graphics on this page, I've got to fix the animation. This is not supposed to be showing right now. So Wharton is actually one of the top-rated, undergrad business programs that's out there. So I wrapped up my degree in finance and marketing for undergrad, and was knew I'd probably be going down the entrepreneurial route, but I signed with a company in Atlanta, actually in the investment banking space. And 3 weeks before I was supposed to start, they ended up going out of business. So I got to decide at that point, was I going to get another job or go ahead and start my entrepreneurial career? So I ended up starting my entrepreneurial career at that point, and started a company, multiple companies over the last 15 years in different sectors, out of professional services, physical products, manufacturing and distribution, as well as software. And what I found is, even with coming from an entrepreneurial background and growing up in it and having some great education, I tell you, you've got everything you feel like kind of at your disposal, but still was struggling to kind of get it all figured out as a business owner and as an entrepreneur. A lot of things they don't teach in school, and so I have here the School of Hard Knocks is probably where I got most of my learning along the way over the last 15 years, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and figuring out what worked, what doesn't work. Could go into a lot of stories there with you, but I'm sure you can relate. It's definitely a challenge, and was able to kind of navigate through and have some successes, but definitely had my failures, along the way. And I ended up having, in some of my business, sort of the 3 arrows we just talked about going in the wrong direction, with sales and leads going down, with costs going up in my business, and in time, spending more time than I can imagine on doing things myself and staff at that point that I shouldn't have been having to spend. And it just became some pretty frustrating experiences in navigating through my entrepreneurial career and dealing with some of these challenges. Again, had some successes, but found myself struggling with some of these challenges. And then I'll kind of share what I call the game-changing Mexican dinner. So it was actually one evening, went out to dinner with my wife and a couple that we're really good friends with, and being an entrepreneur my entire life and starting different businesses, and this friend of ours, he and I always kind of talk shop, and he told me about this website that he had gotten done. He was helping his dad build a website for his business, and got it done for $250. And I was just blown away by the quality. I just spent $3,000 getting a website done. And he told me about this platform that he had used, and I just was amazed. So I went home that night and I literally did not leave the computer for 5 hours in looking and seeing what all could be done. And this literally took me into a whole nother world of how to get things done. I knew that from that point forward, I was going to redefine how I got things done in business and personally. And what I came to realize is that it wasn't just websites, but blogs, social media management, advertising, brochures, videos, press releases, white papers, market research, pricing research, infographics, telemarketing. I was finding ways that a lot of things that we weren't able to do due to cost and money, um, due to cost and time, and frankly, just a lot of things I didn't even know were going to be possible because I had gotten prices from agencies locally, or trying to hire someone to do some of these things. It was just cost prohibitive. But I found out there was a ton of stuff that we could get done and find out ways to automate and delegate. Two main words that just really changed the game for me: automate and delegate. Getting high quality work done at a fraction of the cost with rapid turnaround. And this stuff happened fast in working through this platform, and opened up a whole global resource of talent that we're able to use to get things done. And then I started learning about crafty things that we could do, not just even your standard things, but also what's called custom lead lists with data mining. It's something I'll kind of share a little bit more about, but it just gave a whole new way, as I shared in the beginning, to be able to generate leads, super low cost, highly targeted, that I had not ever known about. I mean, just opened up a whole new world. And as I started getting more involved in it, I discovered more and more ways that we could leverage this platform, and it empowered myself and my team to get 10 times the amount of work done for a fraction of the cost. So, I've incorporated that in my business at the time, and also I've just become an authority, I guess you would say, on how to leverage a global network of getting things done, to launch your company, to grow your company in a very cost-effective way. I do a lot of speaking and seminars on the topic, and I so excited when I get great feedback like this. Brad, my business partner, and I loved your course. It's one of the best I've attended in regards to actionable information provided. I've spent most of my time since then implementing the strategies you shared with us. This is Lauren, and it was amazing to hear the feedback that she had shared. And every time I see her and her business partner, they just tell me about something new that they've done and implemented that's just changed the game for them and their business. And this is sort of just another feedback that I've gotten in sharing this content. A gentleman named Craig Williams came up and he had shared with me after going through the content. As a design thinker, Brad was giving me all the information I needed in an organized way. It was really easy to follow him. I really like his energy. He was very particular, and it was a very resourceful course. So just sharing kind of some of the feedback that people have been giving in learning this information that I encourage you to kind of stick through as we go through the content here. And I just share, from a thought leadership standpoint, I've, because of kind of what I've learned and how I've, ever since that game-changing, Mexican dinner, I've just built upon my knowledge and incorporated in my companies and in Entreholic, and everything from universities at Georgia Tech to podcast series to chambers of commerce to conferences, and then EO. It's an organization I've actually been a part of. There's 12,000 members globally. I'm a member of the Atlanta chapter, and I sit on the board. And for the last 2 years, I've co-chaired running our accelerator program, which is designed to get companies to the $1 million mark within a 3-year time frame to give them the resources and support. So a lot of thought leadership areas I've done. So again, not sharing this to brag, but just to give you validation of the content that I'm sharing is translated to be very valuable for a lot of organizations. And also, we've leveraged our resources that a lot of the techniques I'm going to share with you to also help out in the nonprofit space. And we actually started a nonprofit a couple years ago where we help raise funds for a local breast cancer awareness organization. And there's a picture there actually of our whole group. It's a big skeet shooting event that we do called Pull 'em for Pink. So any of you nonprofit folks out there, the techniques that I'm going to show are really valuable for you as well, because I know you got a limited budget that you're working with, and being able to get websites done and logos done and literature developed very, very cost effectively for for your programs. So all that's to say is that I get it. This is a picture of me and my wife, and again our little 8-month-old here, and I'm just an individual just like all of you, with a family and desires and wants to kind of grow and develop as an entrepreneur, as a father, as a husband. And the techniques that I've learned, want to translate to help you recapture that time and help you really kind of use what you have, your time, money, and resources, to your highest and best use, so you can have the most fulfilling life that you can. So as we head into this, just want to relate to the frustrations that this tends to address. So let's just see if some of these sound familiar. There's never enough time to get it all done. You want to get your business out of the ground, but it costs too much and you're not sure how to get it done. You need lower cost, higher quality leads. There's so many new marketing and sales technologies coming out every day, but which ones do you choose? You have an email marketing or a marketing automation system or a CRM, but you're only barely using its potential. You're losing ground every day. You're not doing SEO, social media videos, and other digital marketing, but you don't know where to start and you can't afford what you've been quoted. You need content for blogs, brochures, press releases, and white papers, but you don't have the time to do it internally and don't have other resources. You need to be making more outbound sales calls, but you struggle with the cost and finding the right staff who can perform. So did any of those sound familiar? If so, type a Y in the chat box there. Would love to just kind of get some validation. Does some of these resonate with you at all, as far as the types of challenges that you're dealing with? Or type in some others. What other frustrations do you have in your career or in your business as an entrepreneur, related to getting things done and taking advantage of a lot of the digital marketing solutions that are out there, that it's just challenging because not knowing where to start or having the time or funds to be able to engage those. Yep. So it seems like a lot of people can relate here. No doubt. And these are some of the exact challenges I experienced myself. I know and I can relate. These are all things I experienced, and why I engaged and learned a lot of the techniques I'm going to share with you today on how you address them. So before we walk through kind of solving these problems, we need to review what gets you to a healthy, growing, scalable business. So I'm going to walk through this kind of visual real quick. And everybody loves going, they love this, but they definitely relate to. They love it because it kind of paints a clear picture of the past that they've experienced. So, it's a prime time to be an entrepreneur, but we all take a growth path that can be a little challenging, right? So in the beginning stages, you have your startup pain, right? You're kind of dealing with some ups and downs and trying to figure out the product market fit. You're trying to figure out cash flow. You're trying to maybe get your first staff on board, and you're hopefully making forward upward progress, but there's ups and downs along the way. And then you kind of get to what I call kind of point B, where there's starting to be some traction, where you're starting to make some progress. There's a little bit more predictability in the sales cycle. But with that point B also comes this growth ceiling, right? This place that you hit where you're struggling to get to that next place, or you need that next layer of operations. And the challenges that you experience, are business pain, cash flow, staff, operations, personal pain, right? On a personal basis, time management, staying energized, maintaining focus. And that translates on an emotional basis: stress, anxiety, frustration. And as you can see here, some people, hit that growth ceiling and they deflect and they don't push through, where ideally we all want to kind of get to that next place. And this is scale. This is where profitability really starts accumulating, and you're pushing through to that next place, which is point C. And what I'll argue, and what we're going to talk about today, is particularly during startup through getting through that growth ceiling, is where you must take advantage of leverage. Leveraging time, money, and people in the most cost-effective way, so that you're focusing on working on your business versus in your business. And I'm going to show you the techniques of how you can do that. And a lot of what we're going to talk about is about how to deal with the anxiety of unpredictable revenue. This picture here, there's the cliche about what keeps you up at night, where you feel like you're kind of out in the middle of an ocean and just stressed and trying to figure out, where your next sale is going to come from. And a lot of the techniques we're going to talk about really help address this so that you can have a more predictable lead generation source and sales cycle. So imagine if you could run a business from anywhere with a phone. What if you could have a steady automated stream of prospects? If you could have time, money, and freedom to pursue your highest self, right? That's ultimately where is your best position in the business and where you should be focusing to really grow. And to be able to run a business that grows organically and as large as the market will allow, right? So just imagine these things, because this is where we're wanting to be able to take you with some of the techniques we're going to go through today. The freedom to work anytime, anywhere. So I'll share, these are some pictures actually, and my wife was joking around about how I manage a global team of people from all over, and I've got the flexibility, whether I'm at a coffee shop doing Skype with Bangkok with a marketing strategist, or I was actually out in Savannah visiting my sister, and we were out there 4th of July. That's why there's the little flag on the stick there. And then up in Michigan, actually visiting my wife's family. We were out able to go and enjoy ourselves, and easily from my phone was able to manage a team to get things done. Actually, I was working with a content writer. So this technique is going to give you the freedom to work anytime, anywhere. Obviously, enjoying yourself the majority of these times, but if you've got to get things done with your team, you can have the flexibility. So let's talk about first the number one promise: 1,000 highly targeted leads in 5 days for under $150. How do you go about doing that? All right. So to tell you, I want to kind of just tell you, do it through kind of stories of examples of people that we've worked with. So had an education company that wanted to get a list of child psychologists in the Southeast United States. Okay. And they were trying to figure out how to get that list, how to get names and email addresses, because they want to be able to introduce their product to child psychologists. So we posted a job on one of the outsourcer platforms that we work with, and here's the exact posting that we did. Okay, we're looking for an internet research expert to help us research websites with listings on child psychology professionals in the Southeast United States. Your role: research, find, qualify, and organize data of sites that fit the criteria, confirm that data quality, and ensure accuracy. And then we indicate the qualifications, which you can see here. Organized, good communication skills, ability to multitask. And then down here we put additional things that we wanted included. Please include one site with any of the mentioned criteria that you believe would be a good target will mean that you are shortlisted. So when you're posting these jobs, you can ask these individuals to give a piece of information or free guidance, just like when you're doing with content writers or some of the others that we'll talk about. You can ask for them to give a little bit of their expertise, and it allows you to shortlist, because you'll get tons of people that'll apply for some of these jobs, and you want to find a reason why to shortlist some of them. And we gave them the actual data collection spreadsheet template that we wanted. Okay, so this is the exact, and it was actually just one big Excel template, but kind of to put it on one sheet here so you could read it, have it in multiple layers. So we wanted to get the person's, for this child psychology, we wanted to research the web and aggregate their name, their business name, their personal email address, their personal LinkedIn profile, confirming their company size if they're able to get it, industry categories, the business address, business website, business Facebook page, business Twitter, and all the business contact information. So can you imagine having this kind of data? And this is the kind of information that you can get when you engage in this type of strategy. So when we posted the job and we gave the template, this is an example of one of the responses that we got from a company, an outsourced firm, that responded to us and gave us their background and said, you can read here, we're a fast-growing business process outsourcing company. It's called BPO, which is kind of a common name. And I won't read through all of this here. You'll be able to kind of take a look a bit further as we go through this. But this is a company that specializes in nothing but this: web research, data processing, data conversion, and a bunch of other what they call business process outsourcing services that they do. So it was unbelievable. This is exactly the kind of thing I discovered when I was learning what was available in this global network of resources. And so got the response, engaged them, and the results is we got 1,000 records of child psychologists in 4 days, and it cost $120. And we got a spreadsheet slam packed full of exactly the information that we wanted. All the contact information. Now, most of them, I mean, they weren't able to get all the data points for every single one, but I'd say it's about 80%. So we're able to get just tremendous contacts. So now this education company now had a full information, and now they could engage in email, social, calls, and this is a little graphic here that I'll reference a little bit later. But it's being able to kind of put them on a nurture wheel and engage them, because now they had their phone number, they had their email address, their LinkedIn profile, their social handles, their mailing address. So you can launch a multi-pronged outreach campaign on exactly who they're wanting to go after. Be very, very targeted. I'm going to show some more examples in just a second here. So another story. Had a company. These are people that we've worked with or have taken kind of our strategies and implemented them. A medical device company that had been going through distributors, and now they wanted to go after direct purchasers, which are operating room purchasers, and really obscure kind of list that they would want. So they were able to use the same technique, post the exact same type of job description that I just shared, and got response back, and we're able to get 1,000 records again in 4 days for about $120. And we're able to get exactly targeted operating room purchasing agents for hospitals so they could outreach directly and introduce their brand to them, and connect on LinkedIn. They're able to then give the LinkedIn profile links to their sales reps so that they could connect with them as well. Another story. So you got a high-end luxury online retailer, and they wanted to get a list of lawyers and doctors as target prospects for their outbound call team, and they also wanted to follow up with email along with them. So this is an online company and wanted to get a very targeted list. So again, posted a similar type job description, got 1,000 records, 4 days for about $120. And I say that it's pretty similar, but is all about the same price range that you can get, plus or minus some that you end up paying for this type of business process outsourcing work. Show you another example. Another story, a new co-op program for local produce, reaching out to local farmers and restaurants. So again, a pretty obscure one. They needed to get a list of farmers so they get outreach to offer their services to help them with their produce, of offering if they had extra produce to be able to liquidate and then connect those with restaurants that are trying to do more farm to table work. Again, post the job description, 1,000 records, 4 days, $120. Another story. Large animal horse vet was trying to get a list of all horse stables to do outreach for an educational event, right? So, for large animal vets, they do horses and cows and that kind of thing. And for them, they want to be the vet of record for large horse barns. So they wanted to, you couldn't just go buy a list of kind of horse barns in an area or stables. So employed the same technique. Again, got about 1,000 records, 4 days, $120. Highly targeted. Now they're able to do a full outreach, call campaign, email campaign, LinkedIn profile outreach, dead on to the target audience that they were going after. Another one, a marketing agency wanted to get a list of all the marketing directors in major metro areas to do outreach, right? So, if you're a marketing agency, marketing directors at companies are who you're wanting to connect with so that you can, tell them about your services and engage. I mean, that's who your prospects are. So again, was able to get a list, about 1,000 records, 4 days, $120. So I don't mean to be repetitive there, but it's just unbelievable to be able to get highly targeted, exactly the information that you need, and with multiple depths of information for that kind of price point. Is just incredible. Had another company that was launching a unique incentive program for sales reps, and they wanted to get a list of sales directors in specific industries. Right? They want to get people that had titles of VP of sales, sales director in different industries. Again, about 4 to 5 days, 1,000 records, about $120. So you're starting to see the pattern here, right? Very low cost, consistent price point, and you can get. And as I'm showing here, this list example is certainly not the actual data. This is just an example that I use for purposes. I can't share direct contact information, but just shows you kind of roughly what it looks like. But again, you're getting a feel for it. It just stretches across industry. At a teeth whitening company in the dental market, want to get a list of all dentists offering teeth whitening on their website, right? So imagine that if you're wanting to go after, they only want to go after dentists that were offering teeth whitening. Well, how could you go buy a list like that, right? You can go get lists of dentists, but ones that specifically are offering whitening as a service, so that you could then know if they're already offering it, so that you could go after them. And another thing on this is that in the list, we actually had them add as a column what university they attended, right? So, here in Atlanta, like Emory University Dental School, so that you could actually use that in the subject line and make a special offer, right? So when you get that list, right? So one of the data points you would add is, and you could do this for any list. If you want to get additional information, I mean, data exists everywhere on the web. You could put in there, give me what dental school they went to, so that when you do an email outreach to them, you could actually put that in the subject line. Special offer for graduates of insert school name, dental school. So can you imagine if you got an email, the dentist got an email that said special offer for graduates of Emory Dental School? So I actually did that technique and got a 42% open rate on cold emails out to people, right? So just gives you an idea of additional data that you can add into these lists when you scrape them to use for market intelligence purposes. So just imagine, what could you do with 1,000 leads in the next 4 to 5 days meeting your exact criteria? Across any industry, whether you're online, you're offline, you're a service, you're a product, any range, you can see where this is applicable. We've talked about everything from vet clinics to online retailers to everything, in between. So there's a wide range of industries that can be covered and used in this approach. So let's talk about another promise number 2, right? Market intelligence, how you're able to get really targeted, pointed information for your business, to be able to determine market demand, okay? To know your competitors' prices and marketing material, which is a really crafty one that we're going to kind of go through here in just a second. And, to know who the key influencers are in your market, right? All of this falls under the category of market intelligence, which can save you so much time and heartache knowing what you should or shouldn't be doing in terms of price, in terms of just if a product is viable. So I love this quote from Seth Godin, which says, don't find customers for your products, instead find products for your customers, right? So first example we're going to talk about kind of alludes to that. So here's a client, and they were actually looking to make high-end play kitchens for children, right? And so they wanted to see what would the market bear, what's the price point out there. I mean, there's tons of play kitchens, plastic ones and cheap ones and expensive ones. They wanted to make high-end wood, high pieces of quality of furniture, really, play kitchens. But wanted to figure out, hey, what does the market look like? What are the types of products that are out there currently? What's the price points that's being charged? So we know what price point we could charge, because they wanted to be able to charge more like $700 to $1,000. And what's the shipping? Because that shipping is going to be expensive. So was able to write up a job description for an outsourcing agent, able to get over 200 records, get the link to exactly where. I had to cover it here for purposes of disclosing the company names. But they were able to get the direct link to the product, get them to actually paste the image into the spreadsheet, and get the pricing and the shipping information. All right, 200 records in 2 days for $14. Can you imagine getting immediate market intelligence like that? If you're looking to introduce a product and you want to find out, hey, what exists out there? What's the price points right now for this product? Another one, competitor research. So this is actually something we ended up doing as a company, and we wanted to see what companies that were providing marketing services for the pet market. We were looking at specifically, social media for the pet market. And so I had a researcher go out there and do an entire web search on any kind of marketing firm for pet sitting businesses or pet boarders or pet groomers, just to see what existed out there. And then come back with a list of those companies. What price points are they charging for different services? And then also download their brochures. If their brochures and literature are available on their website, download them so that I could kind of see what my competitors are doing in terms of how they position their market and information, right? And so got 2 days later, $17, got a list with 150 company records, had their price point for services, a list of the itemized offerings that they provided for the pet market. Immediate market intelligence, and I was able to get a zip file of brochures from the ones that had brochures on their websites. I was able to get a full zip file so I could look at and review exactly how they were marketing their products. Another story, had a company, payments company designed to change how parents control their child's spending through a mobile app, right? So new product. And they want to get a list of mommy bloggers, right, who are influencers in their market. So be able to outreach to them, tell them about their product, and maybe get them to write a blog about it. Well, this guy, he had spent, before he had learned about what I shared with him, he had spent 4 days and zillions of hours assembling a list himself of bloggers. And I showed him this technique. Within 2 days, $14, he was able to get 200 records of mommy bloggers with a link to the blog, their email address, their contact information, and even the title of the last article that they published. Another story, had an education company. They wanted to reach influencers at a trade show, right? So there's big trade shows that happen every year for every industry, and on those websites for those trade shows, they have speakers, right? And if they're a speaker at a trade show, they're probably a top influencer in your market. So we're able to take the speaker list, which is a PDF list that was able to get off the trade show website, and then dump that into a spreadsheet. And so now you had full contact information, and any of the data that wasn't on that speaker list, we're able to fill the gaps from other places online to get their email address and other contact information. So we're able to now be able to do a direct outreach to that group. So this can even be a trade show you didn't attend at all, right? So I'll share. This is like an exact email that you can copy for influencers if you want to, reach out to speakers at trade shows in your particular industry. So good morning, first name here. I hope you're having a great insert day of week here, right? Tuesday. I saw that you're recently a speaker at insert trade show name on the topic of insert speaking topic. So when you do the data scrape, you can actually get a list of the topic that they spoke on at the show. Get that data point so you can actually insert it into the email. How was the event? Do you think you'll participate next year? I wasn't able to make it, so I was wondering if I could get a copy of your slides to share with my team, right? Perfect question. You're flattering them because you think that their presentation was great, and could you get a copy of your slides? And most speakers all offer the option of getting a copy of their slides if you'll email them or reach out. Great way of doing this, right? So it'd be great to get your feedback about the trade shows we may want to attend next year. If you have a minute, you can learn a little more about our company, right? So you subtly drop in there referencing your company, okay? So I'll share on this. We did an outreach to about 300 speakers that were at this trade show that were in the education space, and got a 23% response rate to a completely cold list, outreaching using this specific technique, asking for a copy of the slides. So now this company, these are thought leaders who now know your company, engaged, responded, flattered you, asked for their slides. And actually, one of the people actually offered to do a case study at their university on the product. So this is another little crafty technique that you can use. Another way is getting industry publications for content distribution, right? So in your industry, if you're wanting to get a list of all the major publications and the editors and the email addresses of those editors, it's a way to kind of do your own homegrown PR firm, right? It's kind of a unique technique that not a lot of people know about, where you can get a list of, is there 50, 100 that are major, digital publications, magazine publications, so that if you got a new release on your product that's coming out and you want to get the word out there to magazines, they're all looking for content now more than ever. You can send it out to them. So just a really another technique of how you can use for crafty data scraping, data mining to be able to get information on the web assembled very, very cheaply and quickly. And again, this list got 2 days, over 200 records of all the major contacts in an industry for 14 bucks. All right, so now the third category, email list building. Okay, so we talked about how critical this is. Your email list and building your list for your company, getting those email addresses, people that are visiting your website that you're engaging with is critical. Okay, because, and I'll share why, is that so much revenue is lost in the warm leads. Okay, and a warm lead is someone who comes to your website, maybe doesn't hit contact us or doesn't pick up the phone and call you, but they're raising their hand and saying, I'm interested, right? They're visiting your website for a reason. So so it's kind of the way I describe it is this infographic, which is 2 wheels, which is if you earn the right to stay in someone's digital channels over the long period of time and using affordable digital solutions, there's going to be a life and business event that transacts, because the hot ones buy immediately, the cold ones will never buy, but all the warm ones that show some interest, right, that may be willing to give their email address to you, provide a way to stay in touch with those people on a long-term basis. And we're going to talk about exactly how you do that here in this next technique. For example, I'll show you the value of doing this. We have an executive education firm, didn't have any engagement options on their website except contact us, right? And this company had been around for a number of years, getting lots of traffic, and just all they have is contact us. So you go to your website, look around, see the services, they either would leave or maybe they'd hit contact us. Well, we added a lead magnet to the site, very simple form so that the person could give their name and email address to get a piece of educational content for free if they just gave their name and email. A great piece of educational content leveraging the knowledge that this company had. And so we added that to it, created that lead magnet, and they all of a sudden got 67 new leads in a 30-day time frame that they would have never gotten otherwise because of offering this technique. Having a lead magnet on their site and taking advantage of those people that were warm leads that, hey, I'm on your site, I'm interested in learning more about you, but I'm not ready to hit contact us. Give me a way to start a relationship. Well, we created a content piece, and again, we'll show you how to do that and generate great results for them. So you can get the lead magnet done, all right, through using the outsourced platform that we talked about. Using freelancers and outsourcers, you can get it both written and get the graphic design done. It looks like a piece that maybe costs thousands of dollars from an agency that you can get done for less than $100. And then you can get content writers to actually outsource freelancers to write emails for you, right? Which is after someone requests one of these off your website, you want to be able to have ongoing email content that goes to that individual. But who has the time, right, to write that stuff and to get these things done? You may be thinking this is something you've seen on other people's sites, and well, how did they get that done? It looks so expensive. I'd love to have that on my site, but how do I do it, right? So I'm going to show you how. I'll show you how you do it very, very cost effectively. And the other thing is I'll talk about is the marketing automation email marketing systems, right? You may have one of these, right? Some kind of an email system. And again, it's one of those additional things that you've got to manage, Infusionsoft or Aweber or HubSpot. All right, I'm going to teach you how you can actually get people that are experts in these for 10 or 12 bucks an hour that can go in and do all the work for you, right? So that's part of it. Once someone fills out that email on the website to get that lead magnet, then they you want them to load into your email system so that then they can get follow-up emails from you going forward, right? But again, it's just one more thing to manage. So I'm going to show you how you can actually get this done on an automated basis. So tying it all together. So what you do is you use a freelancer to get a lead magnet done, right? And a lead magnet is just something that draws a visitor. For example, think about a lawn care business, right? Lawn care business, you move to a new area, you're looking for a lawn care company, you're bouncing around to different websites. Well, one of the websites pops up a form while you're on there that says, hey, give me your name and email address, or would you like to know the top 5 ways to keep your lawn healthy during the summer? Give your name and email address, right? So perfect example. So you can have that researched, written, and graphic design done for less than $100. Then you want to get a 6-part nurture series. And I say 6-part because at least have 6 emails that go to someone, right? But they need to be educational in nature, right? So in that lawn care business example, it may be follow-up tips related to how to keep your lawn healthy, because someone's going to call around and get quotes, right? Just like they may be in your business. They're going to call to multiple lawn care companies. Well, the one that stays in their inbox, and again, back to that nurture series, where you have the life and business events in the nurture, you want to stay on their because it's a warm lead, right? And if you're the one staying in front of them, that's what's going to make the difference in terms of exposure. Sorry, I'm taking notes on some of these, so that's why you're hearing some gaps of silence. The things I want to do to improve. Then you set up a free Calendly account. Okay, so this is one of the free tools I'll talk about, which allows people to click on a link and automatically book themselves an appointment. Right, so they're not having to play email games back and forth with you on a time to connect. Because in that 6-part nurture series, you're going to provide educational content and information to them, right? But you also want to put a link in there so that if they do want to engage and they want to set an appointment, you make it very easy for them to do. Then you hire a freelancer to load those emails into whatever your email system is, whether it's Infusionsoft, MailChimp. You can get a freelancer to do it for you. And then create a form on the website. Right, so now we got to have a form actually on the website for someone to put their name and email address in. And there's some pretty turnkey tools, like SumoMe is a product that I really like. Very turnkey that you can do and set up a form really quickly on your site, or you can get a freelancer that specializes in it, and for less than $20 can have them set it up and load it onto your website for you. So now you tie it all together. So now that person that's visiting the website now, okay, they're visiting the website. Now that you've got a lead magnet option for them to engage, they now have a way to give their name and email address to start a relationship with you without having to pick up the phone and call. Then you kick off the 6-part nurture series, right? And so for the lawn care example, it's tip 1, tip 2, tip 3, because a lot of times you can take those top 5 tips and then just break them into emails that they get afterwards. Say, hey, I know I sent you the guide, but I thought I'd also kind of break these into categories, into bite-sized pieces for you. And inside of each of those emails, you have a link to Calendly so that they can actually book an appointment with you as well. So it's a way to take a warm lead who visited your website, who may have bounced off and never come back, or you never even knew they were there, to start a relationship. Make it sticky. Grab them, get their name and email, start a relationship with them, and eventually convert a sale, because that's where so much money is lost, in the warm leads. All right, so that kind of how. So we talked about the 3. We talked about being able to generate 1,000 leads, right, in 5 days for less than $150. All right, we talked about being able to get immediate market intelligence, right, on your competitors, or pricing, or potential vendors in a market. And thirdly, we talked about how to build an email list, right? How to make your site in a way so that you can capture people that are visiting who aren't wanting to click contact us, but want to engage in a way with you. Okay. So now we're going to talk about just a couple other quick crafty tasks that you can outsource. All right. One is vendor research, right? So if you're trying to find a printing company, right, you don't have time and hours to research that. We paid a company, an outsourcer. Took them 1 day and $7, and they got us a list of 50 options of printers in the Atlanta area. We were looking for a new brochure printer. Outbound telephone prospecting, right? Got an amazing group we found, freelance group we found out of the Philippines, that for $10 an hour, okay, $9 to $10 an hour, they'll make 25 calls an hour, which means that you can get 100 calls an hour done for $40. And these accents, you would never know they were in the Philippines. Completely clean accents, sound like John Smith down the street. These are professional firms that do nothing but outbound telemarketing. So to be able to do lead prospecting for you, I mean, you're able to get 100 calls for $40. It's incredible. And you can do it as little or as much as you want. No contracts. You can change the script and they immediately adapt. Just incredible. Business card entry, right? So think about an administrative resource that you could work with, that, we all go to trade shows and you get a whole stack of business cards and you want to get those loaded into a CRM or do a follow-up email, and, they just sit there and collect dust. Perfect example. Was at an event recently. I just took a picture of all the business cards. I sent it to my outsourced admin resource. They loaded it into a spreadsheet. They even then loaded it into my email system and then do a follow-up email. All of it was done within 24 hours the following day. Loaded, categorized, and cost me $20. Here's an example on a personal basis. My wife and I were trying to find a new vehicle for her, and instead of me spending 3 hours on a Saturday researching all of the websites in Atlanta and trying to figure out where's the best price and the best inventory, I had an outsourcer. I gave them the criteria. I told them the examples of sites and prices that I was looking for, and a day later, and $12, they had a whole list for me of all the top car dealerships and price points for the car we were going after, so I could know which ones to target. I'll share another personal story on wedding venue research. My wife and I, when we went to get married back 3 years ago, we wanted to find an outdoor kind of barn setting in Georgia, an outdoor venue. And instead of, again, spending 3 hours on a Saturday, I paid an outsourcer, and for $12, they got a whole list of sites for us and prices, and the contact name and email address on the website for whoever the coordinator was, overnight. For $12. Saved me tons of time and effort so I could immediately have a list. So you can see how all this stuff kind of blends. It's both business and personal. When I say redefined how you do things and get things done, can you imagine the amount of time that this is going to save? So these are some other things. Content writing. You can get blogs written for 12, 15, 20 bucks a piece in any subject imaginable. Press releases. You can get website content written. Google Analytics. How many of you struggle with Google Analytics because it's so complicated, right? You can actually get, we had an outsourcer that takes 2 days, and they set up all the dashboards exactly, simple and easy to read, that automatically email to me daily for $40. Web development and maintenance, right? Got amazing websites done. Quality, high quality websites done for $250 in 10 days. Mobile app. Actually got a mobile app quoted and developed for $800, right? I mean, unheard of. Keyword research, 2 days, $40. All the keywords in a particular market. Want to know what the search volume is, what the competition was. SEO, got an outsourced firm for SEO for $300 to $400 a month, right? You're going to pay $4,000 to $5,000 a month for some firms to do that. Social media management, you can get outsourcers that'll do it for $100 to $200 per month. And the list goes on. All the things that we talked about, graphic design, digital marketing, writing, video, programming, you can get so much done. Both everything from marketing related stuff to even financial services, right? Bookkeeping, right? Bookkeeping is another one that you can get done. So just tons of resources that you just didn't know were available out there to get things done cost effectively. So just imagine having your own team of freelancers, right? Your whole toolbox of folks that can get a world of things on an as-needed basis with high quality performance, low cost, and fast turnaround, right? And it can perform the kind of functions that we talked about, both for business and personal. I mean, imagine what that would feel like. This is a quick example of sort of what our global team has evolved to. And you can quickly build this. We got people all over the world doing things to automate and delegate. Automate and delegate. Okay, we got everything from a stay-at-home mom in Baltimore that does our content writing to a guy in Dubai that does all of our Infusionsoft management and logs in, to our Philippines group that does outsourced telemarketing, to a woman in Colombia that does video editing. So imagine having your own kind of just black book of freelancers. So I'll just share some feedback on people that have experienced this and have started to understand the concept. Chris Mitchell at a recent event, this course shows you how to tie the concepts together to create a fluid system for a company at the starting stage or beyond to blow through the growth ceiling that he was talking about today. So you can see how these types of resources equip you to be able to push your business to the next level. So I'm going to share as well with you now, just to kind of value add a few addictive tools. Now, these are some of our favorite tools that exist out there that a lot of people, you may know of some of these, some of them you may not, but here's an example of some tools that. So we talked about freelancers and how you're able to use that market to get market research done, leads done, saving time and driving down sales, driving down cost and driving up sales and reducing time, right? Because of the techniques that I shared. Now, what I want to share with you is you couple that with some free and cheap addictive tools, right? These are some tools that exist out there that are low cost, that a lot of people don't even know exist, that can be game changers in your business. Okay, so this is one called SpyFu. It allows you to put in your competitors' websites, okay, and you can then see their entire website traffic, their paid keywords, their monthly pay-per-click. You can actually see exactly what their Google ad performance is, right? When are they running Google ads? What does the exact top performing ads look like, right? And you can see here, this is exact wording this company is using, okay, for their Google ads. And even see the top performing keywords. What are the top performing keywords that this company has, right? So that you can then incorporate those into your blog writing, into your own SEO work. Cost per click, daily cost, daily searches, ad position, total ads. I mean, incredible insight, market intelligence on your competitors. Here's another great tool. And as we know, having a responsive design of your website is more critical now than ever, that Google really imposes upon you. And so this is a free tool called ready.mobi that you can go put in your website. It shows exactly how your website renders on different devices. It'll show you exactly how you're performing on a responsive type basis to how the website is performing on a mobile responsive basis, right? And relative to others in the field. And then it's going to give you a report actually of exactly what you need to do to fix it, right? If you're having poor major fails, minor fails, and passes. And so it breaks them up and shows you exactly what you need to do to fix the challenge areas for your website. Another one's called MouseFlow. This is a website that will actually record the user's experience on the website, right? It'll record their actual mouse on the site, what they click on, and where they click, as well as heat mapping, which you can see here shows exactly where they're clicking on the site. So it's a free service. They'll actually do 100 recordings per month, and it'll show not only your desktop but also mobile. It'll show their finger literally scrolling down of people and record their session that are visiting your website. So it lets you know, where are people falling off, where are they engaging. Another is prlog.org, right? This is a free website that allows you to distribute press releases free. High quality distribution at no cost. Now they have a paid version, but their free version is as good as some of the paid versions from similar services out there. And another one's called Haro, Help a Reporter Out. It actually allows reporters to submit out information that they're looking to write on, and you can get a daily digest of it. So you can, if they're looking for something in your industry, you can respond back and maybe get some free media coverage. And this is a really crafty one called Bond, right? So how many people get handwritten letters these days, right? Not that many. And this is a tool that it's an online company that will actually do automated handwritten letters. It'll even learn your own handwriting, and they'll save it on your account. And so all you got to do is type in what you want. A robot will automatically handwrite, and it'll send it by U.S. mail for $3 to whoever you want. And they'll even put a wax seal on the envelope. So you can imagine, again, back to saving time and money, but given that personal touch, you could use this to follow up a prospects or leads or someone who got a demo from you, a way you can just instantly shoot out a custom handwritten letter. So can you see how this could change your business and your life? That's why I get so excited about sharing this, is because you can imagine, I had that game-changing Mexican dinner. This is exactly the kind of thing that I learned, and when I really started embracing the whole concept of leverage, right? I was able to learn how to leverage time and money and my resources and my people, and when you embrace that mindset, you can just get so much more done. So I just share some other kind words from some folks that again have experienced the content and the course information. Doug Grady, I'll just highlight what he shared. Brad has really opened up my eyes to how to leverage my time through freelancers to do the things I'm not wired to do, like building funnels and automation, doing the nitty-gritty work, which is very challenging for me, right? So he can focus on revenue generating activities. Anita Davis that we worked with. There are tools and resources, information that I didn't even know existed, that you can immediately implement into her business that allow her to do the things that are revenue producing for her company, right? That's the things that we want to be doing, the things that we love and that are generating the most value for our business. So I want to introduce you to the Entreholic Business Leverage System, right? It's the concept that we've sort of developed that packages all of this together about how to maximize the potential of time, money, and people. And if you've got a second, I'd love to just be able to share a little bit with you and how this could be game changing for you. We've gone over a lot of great examples and going to take it a little bit further here. So I'd like to outline this program that could help turnkey this whole thing for you that we've talked about in a way to get up and running quickly on implementing a lot of the strategies that we talked about. It's a complete step-by-step system to automate and delegate your business to make more money in less time and enjoy your life again, right? I know we've got a place where we kind of feel buried, right? And just life, you don't tend to enjoy it as much when you're feeling buried like this. And this is going to give you some techniques that are going to help you bring back that that excitement and passion that you have. And again, with this whole course, our whole approach is 3 for 1. We're going to not only help you drive revenue, sales, and leads, as we've talked about in some of our examples. We're going to show you how you reduce costs. You get things done at a much cheaper rate than you'd ever be able to get done. And we're going to reduce the amount of time that you spend on tasks. Okay, so that's the beauty of this, is it's a 3 for 1. So module 1 of our course is understanding the new economy of getting things done fast, cheap, and high quality. Just like I shared the global network, we're going to really understand the whole new economy and why it's evolved the way that it's evolved, and how you leverage it properly to get things done cost effectively. Module 2, we're going to go through a summary of what can and should be outsourced to free you up to grow, right? So I show back the entrepreneur's path here, hitting that growth ceiling. We're going to go through exactly the high level of all the things that can be outsourced or freelancers to help you shatter through that growth ceiling, both personally in your career or in your business or wherever you may be. Module 3, we're going to go through 30 visual case studies, okay, which is the best way to learn. We're going to go through in-depth case studies and step-by-step processes that we've used to do website development, data mining, for lead lists, for thought leaders, top media sources. We're going to go through doing video development. We're going to go through content writing. Going to just give you all the resources and things that you need in these case studies to really bring it to life and give you a visual walkthrough of exactly what it looks like to get a freelancer, to secure them, and how to go through the process to get these tasks. And you're going to be able, once you kind of get the hang of it, it's going to be like second nature and become a standard part of what you do moving forward. All right, module 4 is we're going to determine exactly what you should outsource and why, right? And we're going to go through kind of what I call the time and money formula, which is really looking at a brain dump of all the things that you're currently doing, how to segment those into different categories of things that you like and dislike, and talk about the 85% rule, which is really important in this, that a lot of people don't realize. It's a very key mental concept. And then we're going to figure out exactly how to prioritize and how to bite-size kind of chew off what to outsource and when, so you don't feel overwhelmed in the process. But the time and money formula is really valuable in this as well. You just don't realize how much of your time and how much it's worth is tied up on certain things that you can be getting off of your plate, and how much more money you can be generating when you do that. Module 5, we're going to go through a turnkey system for organizing, managing, and communicating with your freelancer team. Okay, going to give you the exact organizational system that we've used to do this. Okay, it's going to include the organizational system that we use, everything from kind of our file management system to unique communication tools that you probably never knew existed to communicate with freelancers, pre-written job descriptions, pricing guidelines for different types of tasks, because you don't want to get burned. And you can get freelancers to do things, but you want to make sure that you're paying the right kind of price points. And then how to review a profile, right? How to evaluate profiles for top performers so that you make sure you choose the right ones for different tasks. There's a very specific process that we've kind of gone through to show you how to do that. The module 6 is we're going to go through a whole set of free or inexpensive automation and growth tools. Okay, and these are very unique tools that we've uncovered that are going to show you things like some of the ones a couple that I already shared with you, how to learn your competitor's entire online marketing strategy, or how to do automated handwritten letters. But we're also going to show you some tools about how to instantly learn the most popular content in your industry, how to get hand curated social media content posting for just $10 a month to your website, to your social platforms. I mean, $10 a month with hashtags and tagging and everything already built into it. This amazing tool that we found. And then we're going to have as part of this, you're going to have an implementation accountability follow-up video series. Okay. Now, joke around. This is action harassment. This is me. As we go through the modules, I'm going to have video follow-ups to make sure that you're implementing and doing the things that we're talking about, and to give you encouragement and additional ideas and insights on how to be successful with the program. Now, this program alone, okay, is something that I do in person with clients, and the price tag is $7,500. I actually show you an exact copy of the invoice here that I shared that a client back in March 2016. I had to block off their name here, but charge them $7,500 for mastering outsourcing, how to automate, delegate, and grow your business. And I mean, they got every bit of value from it. I mean, the testimonial was very, very strong, and the impact it made for their whole team to now be able to learn how to outsource effectively. Okay, so that's the kind of value in what I charge. And I just show you this example so you can see, they actually paid in 2 pieces, half up front and half afterwards. So the 6-module course, you can see, I mean, it's a $7,500 value, step-by-step system to drive sales, reduce costs, and automate your business. Includes 10 videos, lifetime access, all the steps that you need to be able to kind of get underway. So module 1, understanding the new economy. Module 2, summary review of what can be outsourced to grow, 30 visual case studies and examples, determining what you should outsource and why, turnkey system for building, organizing, and managing your team, and then free or inexpensive automation and growth tools. Okay, plus the implementation and accountability video series that we're going to provide to you. Okay, but of course, not going to charge you what I charge people in person to do. It's worth that value 100 times over for sure, and the impact that it makes with these companies and the amount of costs and savings that they experience. But because you're on today, and kind of we're going to be doing it in an online course format, it's only going to be $14.97. That's the tuition for this entire course that normally charges $7,500 to be able to get a lifetime access to implement these kind of programs in your business. Okay. And I just share again the kind of impact that this has with people. This is an in-person workshop that I had done as a kind of a smaller, shorter version of the one that I normally do. And plus Bruce, that actually started a mobile application company. He said, I tell you, it blew me away because all the things he talked about are all the challenges we're looking at right now as a growing company. And he just nailed it, hit it out of the park, and gave us the resources we needed to answer our questions. Okay, so that's exactly what we want to do. We want to nail it out of the park so that you have the resources that you need to be able to take your business to the next level. And these are some of the folks that I shared, some through this presentation, but I've got dozens and dozens of others, all different walks of life, of people that just had tremendous things to say about the content and experience that they learned from what we shared with them. Here's another one with Bob Matson. Listen to Brad talk about how to automate your business. Really good tips, phenomenal resources in a very linear fashion, which is very informative. Got a lot of information. Look forward to getting more. So again, we try and make sure we communicate this in a way that's easy to understand, a linear fashion in our online course, so that you get it, you understand it, and can implement it immediately in your business. But because you're on the call today, okay, I'm going to also include 4 additional bonus packs. All right, so bonus pack number 1 that you're going to get for that same $14.97 tuition, you're going to get 4 expert guides. One is an exact template with headers that we give to freelancers for data mining. Okay, so you're going to get the exact template that we give them that I showed you earlier. We're going to give you that pre-made so that you can immediately give that to your outsourcer for the data that for data mining. You're going to get a guide on how to craft the perfect nurture emails to keep your warm leads hooked, right? So you saw that case study we went over in that 6-part nurture series. We're going to give you the exact formula that you use to develop that series. All right, we're going to give you the outsourcing quick start worksheet so you can get started today. Okay, we talked about we're going to give you as part of staying through the course. It's going to be just a quick start guide that you can get your first project up and going immediately. And as another one, we're going to show you how to create your own home video studio for under $200. Now, this may not be applicable to all of you, but it's something that that a lot of people, they're wanting to do. Video is such a powerful part of marketing these days, and so I found a way to create your own home video studio, the backdrops, even a way to set up a teleprompter, everything for under $200. All right, bonus pack number 2. Going to give you an interview with 5 other entrepreneurs who started from scratch and used freelancers to redefine their business. People that we've worked with to share their exact story on what they've done and how they've gotten their business up out of the ground. So you can hear exact stories of what it can be like for you when you get it implemented. I'm going to give you a list of the top 3 books and 3 podcasts to take outsourcing to the next level. All right. So the top ones that we found that can make a big difference in accelerating your progress. We're going to share the ones that we highly recommend. Bonus pack number 3, we're going to give you some specific process maps. So we're going to give you buyer follow-up email process map, the webinar email process map, and the customer service process map. So this is exactly the sequencing and messaging that you want to implement in all 3 of those different scenarios. After someone's who's bought from you, they've done a webinar, or as well when you're providing kind of customer service follow-up. So these will be valuable for any type of business. And then we're going to give you 2 additional case studies. One, how I got my competitor's entire customer list in 4 days for less than $100. Right, a very specific technique you can use with your competitors if they've got the same exposure our competitor had. And another one is how I got 25% response rate from top influencers in my market with a cold email campaign. So I'm going to show you another case study example that how you can leverage that you probably didn't know existed to get that kind of a response rate. Bonus pack number 4 is we're going to hold a quarterly most creative freelancer growth hack challenge each quarter with prizes. Okay, so you're going to get to be able to be a part of this and participate. And we love hearing creative stories on how people have found different crafty ways to do data mining or leverage freelancers in a way that are pretty innovative. And then you're also going to get a private Facebook peer collaboration group. Okay, so that is going to be one of the most valuable things that we have that is going to allow you to collaborate with other peers that are sharing other techniques and freelancing strategies that they're using that we're going to allow you to be a part of, that you have lifetime access. So I'm going to be able to post ideas or comments or feedback or challenges and get immediate response from that group. Okay, so getting back to it, the kind of the summary, the 6-module course we talked about, the value of $7,500. Now you're going to get the 4 bonuses that we talked about, the 4 expert guides, the entrepreneur interviews, the process maps, and the case studies, the growth hack challenge, and the private Facebook community. Okay, so that's about a $2,500 value among all of those. Okay, and so the total value when you add it all up is about $10,000 value. Okay, that we're now going to be providing for everyone for this course. But obviously, as we talked about, we dropped the tuition down, and we're not charging $10,000. We're charging $1,497. That's it. So not only are you getting the 6-module course with a $700 value, but you're getting all the bonuses as well. $2,500 value for only $1,497. Tremendous value. And I understand. Look, this isn't cheap. $1,497 is a lot of money. Anybody tells you differently, just ask them to give you $1,497. So I know this isn't inexpensive, but I only want you to take this course if you're going to implement what you learn. Okay, so that's why it's important. It is an investment, but I only want you to take it if you're going to implement. And that's why I want to offer you as well a signature guarantee. Right, so money back, 60-day guarantee. If you commit to following through with the course, and if you do not experience the value that I've demonstrated, I'll provide you with a full refund guarantee. No questions asked. Even have my signature on it. So 60-day money-back guarantee on the course once you've taken it and implemented. And if you follow through with the course and you don't see the value, full refund. Okay? So, people that do take action and implement, here's a perfect example of some feedback we got. Since the course, I've had a white paper or guide for mobile marketing created with a freelancer. I've also tapped in another freelancer that had a complete yet customizable marketing apps business plan, investor pitch PowerPoint, and marketing strategy guide. Okay, available for a very reasonable price, and it looks great. I've also used your course to vet several CRM systems, which will best meet my present needs and scale for the future. I chose one and set up my initial profile this weekend. I have also identified a few virtual assistants who can set up campaigns and manage it for me at a reasonable monthly cost. Okay, so this is just one example. I'm also revamping my website and using my new mobile marketing guide as a free product to grow my list, right? So using it to do the lead magnet concept that we talked about. So people that take action, wildly experience the value that we talk about for $14.97. I'm using Brad's content development brainstorming handout to develop some content marketing criteria. I'll send the info to a freelancer and hire someone to write the content for a client engagement series. I plan to have a search done for blog writing and someone to write a white paper as well. I tend to use a freelancer to create marketing flyers to engage with banking and CPA partners. So she's got a small business loan education service. And then I'll engage a freelancer to conduct some data mining searches to build prospecting lists for a couple of my target groups. So, across the board, we are increasing sales and leads. We are reducing costs, okay, and we're reducing time. These are small business owners that were not getting things done that they wanted to get done before, and we're hitting all three value propositions for them. Because most businesses fail because the founder's doing everything, they make expensive mistakes, they run out of time and money, all right, or they're working hard and not smart. The time is wasted on administrative tasks, right? The whirlwind that dominates them. A lot of these things you can outsource, and lack of focus, right? Because they're trying to push too many things down the pike, right? So these are all things that this course can help address. So your options are, you can try to learn it yourself without help, right? So you can take some of the resources that we've shared, and certainly welcome to kind of dive in and look at some of the online freelancer platforms. And but it could cost you to, it could end up being wasting thousands of dollars of your money and your time. We've done this for 15 years. We know how to do it, and would love to be able to share this course with you that's going to help you skip a lot of those steps so that you can not waste dollars and time trying to figure it out on your own, which I certainly experienced myself, and trying to figure out how to leverage the freelancer market. You can hire an agency. So instead of using the freelancer market, you can hire an agency, and you're talking about, $30,000 to $40,000, $50,000 per year. Okay. Or you can take our proven course, where we have walked you through all the step-by-step processes that you need to be successful with this program. So why would any business owner want to waste time and thousands of dollars, right? So when you've got access to the resource right at your fingertips, why would you not want to take advantage of it? Because no business can survive wasting that much time and money. And we've certainly experienced it ourselves, and some of the failures I've experienced, it was because of that, right? Because I wasn't taking advantage of some of the resources that were out there. And if I'd only known about this type of technique back in my 20s, it would have made a huge difference in what the performance of my first companies would have been. And maybe I wouldn't have had some of the failures that I had in the beginning school of hard knocks stages. So as a special offer for anyone who enrolls this week, another thing I want to offer is the Entreholic Leverage System Mastery Certificate, $1,000 value. And what this is that we're going to provide you with a certificate so that you can take this skill set and knowledge and show that you have completed this course, and you can take it to within your own other business owners that want to learn this technique. You will now be equipped to even charge thousands of dollars to teach and educate people on these techniques that other business owners are trying to learn. But it's a skill set that you'll be able to take with you and have this certification for life, that you have learned the Entreholic Leverage System and have mastery in how to use the new global resource of global resources to get things done in the business. So to recap, 6-module course, $7,500 value. All right, we're including the 4 bonuses, which is a $2,500 value. We're now including the Untitled Mastery Certificates, $1,000 value. So now we're at $11,000. Obviously, not charging that free today. It's only $14.97. Okay. And if you enroll within the next 24 hours, we're going to go ahead and just drop that down to $997. Right. Want to make it easy for you to get started and get underway with this program for $997 to be able to get started with the program. So we're now just under $1,000 to get all of this value. I mean, one of these techniques alone that we've talked about could be worth that dollar amount, if not more. Okay. So one additional thing I want to offer is for a fast action bonus, which is for it's only going to be for the first 10 who respond. Okay, is I'm going to share. Okay, so I'm only doing it for the first 10. My black book of top freelancers. Okay, that I use on one of the top platforms. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to share all of them, but on one of the platforms, I'm going to give you my black book of top freelancers, only to the first 10 who respond. And this is going to be freelancers that we use for animated videos, quick draw videos, graphic design, 3D images. Video scripting, a guy who's an absolute specialist in video scripting, automated LinkedIn posting, and 5 other categories. Okay, and so again, that's only going to be for the first 10 who respond. Is our fast action bonus because people that take action, I love rewarding them because it's life's about action and being an entrepreneur is about action. So recap, you're going to get the entire course, all the bonuses, the mastery certificate. $11,000 value. We've dropped it down to $997 if you respond within 24 hours. And now we're going to include the fast action bonus for the first 10. Okay. And I don't even know what kind of dollar amount to put on that because it's pretty priceless. Being able to have that immediate list that we spent time kind of vetting and determining if they're, qualified for the work, which are, is part of what we teach in the course, but this will allow you to fast track and get underway quickly. So pretty tremendous value that we're looking to offer here. So if you look at what your time's worth, okay, I'd say at a minimum, if you value yourself properly, it's $100 an hour. The techniques that we're going to teach in this course, okay, if we could just save you 20 hours at $100 an hour, that'd be worth $2,000, right? And do you think some of the things we've talked about could save you $20, 20 hours? What's a new sale worth to you, okay? And everybody's business is different, okay? But let's say that, you may sell a $50 widget, you may sell a $10,000 widget, right? So you can insert your dollar amount here, but let's say your new sale is worth $500, okay? And how much you overspending, okay? How much you overspending on certain things that you're getting done, whether it's content writing or your website or your SEO. On average, we find people at a minimum are overspending $5,000 to $10,000. But let's just say $2,500 that you may be overspending, or things that you may have spent money on after this that you could get done way more cost effectively. Okay, so you add those up and it's easily $5,000. Okay, that we found in saving your time, generating new sales, and reducing costs that you're spending. Okay, so now when you really look at the whole big picture, you got a program that's worth $11,000. We've got hours that we've saved you of $5,000. Okay, we're now at $16,000 value for this program. Okay, and tuition's only $997. For those that respond in the next 24 hours. You get the 60-day money-back guarantee, and for the first 10 that respond, we're going to offer the fast action bonus, which is going to be our black book of outsourcers from one of our top platforms. So, as an entrepreneur and fellow entrepreneurs out there looking to make improvements and find new ways to grow and build their companies, wanted to make this something that can be cost-effective in a way that you can implement and get underway. So hopefully you see the value here. Would love to take any other Q&A that we can answer right now that people may have. But to get started, just visit entreholic.com/growth, and that will take you directly to the page where you can take advantage of the special offer. And again, the first 10 that take advantage are going to get the fast action bonus as part of the program. So really enjoyed our time here today. If you don't walk away and the course isn't a fit for you, I certainly understand. You've gotten a lot of value on the front side, but this is something we've tried to make affordable that we can immediately get actionable techniques implemented in your business and get you underway with a lifelong set of skills that you'll be able to use now and in the future. So again, Brad Stevens, CEO of Entreholic. Look forward to working with you. Well, I was going to share here. So quick story. just again, the value you're going to get. This course has saved me so much money, so much headache, and really so much time. Okay, it's like you were holding my hand through the whole thing. And this is a guy who knew about outsourcing. He knew about freelancers, and we were able to, through our course and our system, help hold him through the whole process so that he could immediately get things implemented to grow his business. We got everything from content writing to video production to website development and everything in between. Thank you so much, and let me know every time you come out with a new program, because we are so excited about what you're doing at Untitled. Wow, Brad Stevens just dropped some great knowledge as a business owner. I think I know a lot. Then I experienced a course like this, and I really get more motivated about growing my own company and how to scale it. Okay, just one of the same kind of stories we continue to hear over and over. A gentleman here, and him and his father have been trying to grow a business for quite some time, and we were able to show them what they can outsource to save time and energy. As he shared, I've definitely learned the tools that we can implement today, right now, to grow our business, including some real case examples. Right, so the case studies show real implementation of how you can get this thing done. Okay, so circling back to the very beginning, the whole concept here is leveraging your time and thinking about things in terms of opportunity cost. Right, what are you giving up when you are spending time and dollars on other areas of your life and your business? And the most successful people, most successful entrepreneurs know how to leverage time and how to leverage money. Okay, because that's what equals growth, and that's what equals freedom. So, time, as I said, means different things to everybody. So I think, as I said, for us, it's spending more time with our little 8-month-old, and I want to be able to equip you with the resources and know-how that I've learned over the last 15 years to give you the time that you can spend on what your passions are, and where's going to help be the highest return for your time and effort. So again, Brad Stevens, CEO of Untitled. Pleasure being with you today. Hope we have a chance to work together. Again, $16,000 value, tuition's only $997, fast action bonus for the first 10. Just visit entreholic.com/growth. And we look forward to working with you.